Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech and this is the unboxing and initial impressions of the Realme 3. So guys, this is the box and this is the retail unit that I purchased from Flipkart. Now this phone is available in two variants. Base variant is priced at 9,000 rupees for 3GB of RAM and 32GB of storage, and the next variant is priced at 11,000 rupees for 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. I personally think this 3GB variant is more than sufficient, as this phone also comes with a dedicated SD card slot. Now this Realme 3 seems to be like the true successor to the Realme 1, which happens to be my favorite phone from Realme so far. So let's unbox it and see how good it actually is. By the way guys, this phone is sold exclusively online on Flipkart, and this phone is available in three colors: Radiant Blue, Dynamic Black and Classic Black, and we have the Classic Black color with us right now. By the way, this is a new packaging from Realme, so we can expect similar packaging for Realme 3 Pro as well. So let's put it aside for now. So at the top we have this box. It's a regular old cardboard box. Inside that, first we have the SIM card ejector. Following that, we have a soft silicone pouch along with some documentation. First we have important information guide, that's followed by quick start guide. Now this is a soft silicone pouch, but in terms of quality it is definitely better than what we got with the Redmi Note 7. Anyway, I'll put it aside for now. Next we have the phone itself. So let me just put that aside as well. We'll come back to it in a minute. Next we have a regular 10 watts power adapter. This phone doesn't support any fast charging and comes with a regular 10 watts power adapter, so that's nothing new. Besides that, we have a regular micro USB charging cable. So no type C still on Realme phones. So here's the micro USB charging port or charging cable. And these are the contents of the box. There isn't anything else. There are no free earphones or anything like that inside the box. So let me just put that aside as well. Now coming back to the phone, this is a phone in a plastic wrapping. On the back we have the IMEI numbers and SIM card information. The SIM card tray information. Let me peel the sticker off as well. Now this is how the phone looks on the back. This is the classic black with no gradients. And this is how the phone looks on the front. Just like all the Realme, Oppo and Vivo phones, even this phone comes with a free screen guard pre-applied, which is once again a great thing. Now let's just put on the case and see how good it is. So guys, this is how the phone looks with the free case on. It has all the cutouts for the fingerprint scanner, camera module, and a small flap at the bottom for the charging port for some water resistance. It has a slightly raised lip for the camera module and the display, so even if you place your phone directly on its face or on its back on a flat surface, it will help protect your phone. Now coming to these buttons with the case on, they are slightly hard to press, but they are still pretty usable. So guys, now let's have a quick physical overview and then check out the complete specifications of this phone. On the back, this phone has a unibody plastic design which is super reflective. This black variant is exactly like a mirror. I can clearly see myself, and other variants have a gradient design and they do look pretty cool. At the top, it has a camera module housing a 13 megapixel primary camera with f1.8 aperture. That's followed by a 2 megapixel secondary camera for depth sensing, that's to take portrait shots, and a single LED flash. Beside that, it is a circular fingerprint scanner, and at the bottom, it is a Realme branding. Now on the front, it is a pretty massive 6.2-inch display with HD plus resolution in the new 19:9 aspect ratio, protected by a 2.5D curved Corning Gorilla glass. Above the display, it has the earpiece and a 13 megapixel front-facing camera. Below the display, it's completely plain. Now coming to the sides, on the right side, it has just the power button. On the left side, it has a SIM card tray housing 2 nano SIM slots along with a dedicated SD card slot. That's followed by the volume rocker. At the top, it is completely plain, and at the bottom, it has a 3.5mm audio jack followed by the primary microphone, micro USB charging port, and the mono speaker. Now coming to the rest of the specifications, under the hood, this phone sports a MediaTek Helio P70 processor with Mali G72 GPU with 3GB of RAM and 32GB of storage. This processor is built using the 12nm architecture with 4 Cortex-A73 cores and 4 Cortex-A53 cores. So this processor, just like the previous Helio P60, is powerful and also very power efficient. Right out of the box, this phone will be running a skinned version of Android called ColorOS 6.0 based on Android 9.0, that's Android Pie. Powering all this is a 4230 mAh battery. Now this phone has a thickness of 8.3mm and weighs just 175 grams. Now on paper, 175 grams might seem like a big number, but in hand, phone doesn't feel all that heavy. So the weight distribution has been done really well on this phone. So guys, now let's turn on the phone and see how it's gonna be right out of the box. So on the first boot, it simply says Realme, powered by Android. Now let's just set it up. By the way guys, haptic feedback on this phone is pretty bad. I would rather disable it completely. Now I'm registering my facial data, and that's a nice animation, and it was pretty quick. Now I'm going to register the fingerprint. Now it's done. So guys, this is how the phone looks once we turn it on. This phone is running the latest ColorOS 6.0, that's the new UI, and it has a lot of new things, and this is my first time looking at the UI itself. So this is the notification area, these are all the notification toggles, and this is the brightness slider, and it looks a lot like MIUI, and these are the volume controls. And once again, we have similar brightness slider even for volume controls. On Xiaomi phones we get it on the right side with the blue tint or blue accent colors, and on this phone it's completely white. We can click this button over here to change audio controls for individual levels like media consumption. This is for media. Next we have ringtones and alarm volume. Now going on, next we have the app drawer at the bottom. So this is probably the first phone from Realme to come with an app drawer right out of the box. These are all your applications that come pre-installed. There is a bit of bloatware like this particular application, and if there is any application that you don't use, simply uninstall it as soon as possible. Now right out of the box, this phone also comes with the new Android Pie gestures or the new navigation bar, where we get just two buttons. Here's the back button, and at the center we have the home button. There is no button on the right side. To open recent tabs, we can simply swipe up and it shows all your recent applications. And you can easily switch between any of these applications by swiping this home button to the right. You can do this, select the application that you want to switch to, and then leave to open that application. So guys, this is the new UI. Now let's go to settings and check out that about page. So this phone is running ColorOS 6.0 version based on Android 9.0, that's Android Pie, and here's that Android Pie. I'm always clicking over here for the back button, it's just instinctive for me. And next, this phone has a January security patch as of now. Now let's check out the storage section. So out of that 32 gigabytes of space, you get about 21 gigabytes of space for your user apps and user data, which is definitely more than sufficient for all your games and your regular applications. If you still need more space, you can always add in an SD card. Now let's check out the camera interface. So this is the camera interface for the rear camera. It looks slightly different from the previous Realme and Oppo phones, and probably for the first time, we get a settings toggle in the camera application. So these are the settings. We have auto HDR right out of the box. You also get AI scene recognition, which automatically recognizes the scene and try to enhance the image. Now this is probably what Realme calls chrome mode, which once again tries to take better pictures. So that's enabled by default. And we still have this button over here for 2x zoom. You can swipe left or right to change between different modes, and coming to video recording, we can record video at a maximum of 1080p, and that's it. Now if we click this button over here, we get some additional options like panorama, expert mode, time lapse, and slow motion. Now on the right side, we have the regular portrait mode for the rear camera. Just point at the thing and take a portrait shot. Now this is the interface for the front facing camera. Once again, you can swipe left or right to change between different modes, and beauty mode is enabled by default. Let me just disable that. And besides these regular modes, you have panorama, that's to take wider selfies, just like on Samsung phones. So you can do that and that. I'm not doing it right, but you get the point. You can take wider selfies using panorama for front facing camera. So guys, that's the camera interface, and these are some sample pictures taken using the front and rear cameras in regular mode and even in portrait mode. Portrait mode for rear camera looks okay. It's a bit aggressive, but it works well. But for the front facing camera, it needs a bit more refinement. Now the rear camera on this phone is doing a pretty good job. Color reproduction and exposure control seems to be working really well. Even the selfies are coming out really good. Even in low lighting conditions, it is doing a pretty good job. So guys, now let's test the speaker loudness. Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech, and in this video I'll be unboxing the Vivo V15 Pro. So guys, here's the box, and this is the Vivo V15 Pro in the topaz blue color, and box looks kind of similar to all the previous Vivo phones that we have unboxed. So guys, speaker loudness on this phone is definitely sufficient for media consumption, ringtones and alarms, and for all regular usage. And if you can see, this is the default YouTube application, and we can do the pin gesture to go full screen. That's pretty cool. And just like on previous Realme and Oppo phones, you can swipe near the notch area to get additional options. This is called as the sidebar. Over here you can keep your applications, which open up in a floating window like that. Only few applications open in this mode, and at the top we have some other options like recording the screen, blocking banner notifications, and taking a screenshot. So this sidebar is really a cool feature, but this feature is available only on Oppo and Realme phones running ColorOS. So guys, now let's test the face unlock feature. I've already set it up and configured it such that it automatically unlocks the phone instead of me trying to swipe up the lock screen. So it is super fast. I can't even see the lock screen. Just like all the Realme phones and Oppo phones, it is instantaneous and super fast. Now let's test it in low lighting conditions. I've turned off all the lights. Even in low lighting conditions, it is super fast. Most of the time I can't even see the lock screen, or lock screen is just for a split second. Even Redmi Note 7 couldn't unlock the phone in this lighting condition, while this phone does, so that's pretty cool. By the way, this is what the camera is looking at right now. So this is the kind of lighting condition I'm talking about, and it still works. Now let's test the fingerprint scanner. And once again, even the fingerprint scanner is insanely fast. Like the best fingerprint scanner I've seen in any phone. Like it is on par with the flagships as well. As usual, when we use the correct fingerprint, it simply unlocks the phone. And when we use the wrong fingerprint, it gives us a haptic feedback. I wish it could give a haptic feedback even when we use the correct fingerprint. That's my long-lasting wish. Anyway, this is the sidebar that I've talked about earlier. Normally in portrait mode, you can see a small bar over here for indication. You can swipe from here to open up the sidebar. And when you're using your phone in landscape mode, that's while using applications in the full screen mode, that's while watching videos or playing games, you can swipe from the notification area to pull down the sidebar. So that's a pretty cool feature. Now coming back to the home screen, these are the apps that come pre-installed, and it seems like it has a bit of bloatware. So if you don't use any of these applications or any of these applications, simply uninstall them. Now before I conclude, these are the Antutu and Geekbench scores. So guys, this is the new Realme 3. Definitely a great successor to Realme 2, which came with a Snapdragon 450 processor. And I really love everything about this phone. Cameras are also performing really well. Face unlock feature and fingerprint scanner are insanely fast, and even the overall operating system has been much refined. It looks a lot like MIUI, but still it looks pretty good. And you get the latest Android Pie update with the new navigation bar. So everything looks pretty cool. Now the only thing that I don't like about this phone is the HD resolution. Now for a normal user, for regular usage, even while watching videos, HD resolution is more than sufficient. But while playing games like Asphalt 9 or even PUBG, that lack of resolution is gonna stick out a lot. So if this phone had Full HD Plus resolution, I would say this is the best phone that you can get at 10,000 rupees. But as this phone doesn't, I'll say if you're not a gamer, if you're a normal user, and if you want the best performance, bigger battery, and a lot of cool software features, this is definitely the best phone that you can get under 10,000 rupees. So guys, what do you think about this phone? I think the primary competitor for this phone will be Redmi Note 7, and in many ways it is definitely a better phone, mainly because of the Full HD Plus resolution. But at 10,000 rupees, Redmi Note 7 comes with just 32 GB of storage and doesn't have a dedicated SD card slot. So if you're not into gaming and want more storage, then this is still a much better choice than the Redmi Note 7. So guys, what do you think about this phone? Will you be buying this phone or any other phone under 10,000 rupees, or will you just go with Redmi Note 7? Do let us know by commenting below this video, and if you're planning to buy this phone, please use the link in the description. It always helps the channel, and if you want us to make any specific video, tweet out to us with the hashtag AskGreedyTech on Twitter, and we will try to make it as soon as possible. I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off. Have a nice day.